Well, that was a black screen for no reason. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Offside Rule. Got new faces on today, which I'm really excited about. Yan will be joining us soon. She's been working, poor thing, busy with all those kids, probably having a meltdown. But yeah, we've got Beth. Big up Beth. She's a Chelsea fan if you don't know her, but I'm sure you do. She's usually on GNA TV, aren't you, Beth?
Yes, yeah, nice to do. And I've done the Terrace and Kendall show on. I don't know if I haven't done that in ages, but yeah, that.
We haven't done that in absolutely months, to be fair, have we? Oh my god, that's been ages since.
No Premier League though in it, so I guess.
Yeah, bring it back soon, definitely. And obviously everyone knows Kendall. If you don't know Kendall, then you're living under a rock, to be honest with you. Thank you, Kendall, for coming on. I've been wanting to get you on for ages, and obviously you want to start that EU show soon as well, so that will be pretty great.
100%. No, thank you for having me. I love this show, so no, thank you for having me.
Oh, that's amazing. But yeah, big up everyone in the comments. Mustafa, Pogba's the best midfielder in the world. Yeah, well, you know, Nabil, very special player. Big up for Tor as well, singing Werner's praises, and obviously Chalobah had a very good game today for Chelsea, which we'll get into soon. Apparently, Fator was on TV. Did anyone see
him? Yeah, I'm swearing.
I never saw him.
Yes.
Oh, bless him. Well, yeah, that will be. I'll definitely try and clip that up for you.
Yeah.
Fator. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll release it soon. Big up, Grandad Indy. Love you, bro. Fator, give it up now. Yeah, there's a lot of great people in the comments. So, yeah. We'll get straight into it, though. We're going to start off with the game yesterday, the first Premier League game of the season. Brentford versus Arsenal. Now, ladies, this game gave me a lot of joy, personally. What did you make of it? And what do you expect for Arsenal this season? Because it was a really, really bad start for them. So I'll start off with you, Kendall. Well, yeah, if you're able to, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, yesterday... I know Arsenal fans are always like, oh, we're so bad, like, and they weren't looking forward to the new season. I think probably us and them are probably equal on not looking forward to the season, very negative. But was it yesterday? Yeah, I'm lost on days now. Yesterday, they didn't create anything at all. Like, it was very laboured. Like, there was just no creativity. Ben White, I feel really sorry for him because obviously it's his first game. You want to impress. There's going to be so much pressure on him. £50 million is not a little bit of money. So he didn't have a great game. But that's not a takeaway from Brentford because I thought Brentford played pretty well. I did see a few people saying not the best that they've seen Brentford play, that's fair enough. If there's more to come from them, then great. They'll probably have a relatively decent season. But yeah, Arsenal looked awful yesterday. And obviously they're missing Lacazette, they're missing Aubameyang. So that's fair enough. But yeah, just looked quite poor. I felt a bit, like when it gets so bad, you feel a bit sorry. I was like, oh my God, I actually feel a bit sorry for them.
Mate, do you know what was crazy about that game? On the Twitter timeline, there were people saying that the Arab commentators were saying if you didn't know these teams, you'd think Arsenal were the promoted side and Brentford were the established Premier League side.
100%.
How crazy is that? Like, you just wouldn't know it. The ways Arsenal played, they just didn't look like they cared. Like, first Premier League game of the season, you got fans back. You'd think they'd be a bit more hyped for it. Do you know what I mean? Brentford fans were brilliant. The atmosphere was incredible. But
it looked so good. Yeah. I wanted to be there. I wanted to jump in with them. I would have been like, come on, Brentford, let's go, you bees. I love it. It was so funny. I couldn't laugh more at Arsenal because just when they were getting into it and it looked like they might get a goal, Brentford scored again and then they just looked crushed and I was like, inject it. This is what I want to see from my Arsenal sides.
But you know what is anyone surprised by it? Because I'm someone like, when people said Arsenal should be finishing higher than 8th, personally I was like, I don't think their squad's good enough to. And I don't think they've made enough good signings to add to it to finish higher. I don't think they deserve to be any higher than what they are. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of Arsenal fans think that they should be, challenging for top 6. I don't think their squad's good enough, personally. So does it really surprise people that they, not only did they lose, but would it surprise you if they didn't have a good season overall and maybe they were sort of 10th or 9th by the end of the season?
When I did a stream with a gal yesterday, he was like, oh, we're going to be 5th. We're going to be 5th. Yes, I'll put Mulan on in a second. I'll put reflection on Mulan in a second. Give me 1 second, okay? Thank you. She would always be quiet normally. She just wants to chat today, I think. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, a girl was like, we're going to finish 5th. And I was like, 5th? Are you sure? Like, and I was thinking, am I missing something here? Because obviously, I know they signed a couple of players. Signed, obviously, Lokonga, Tavares. Who else have they signed? I can't think off the top of my head. Oh, Ben White. So I was like, maybe they've made signings and I'm just not getting the hype at the moment, and maybe I'll be wrong. And he was so confident. He was like, yeah, 5th, we're going to finish 5th. I promise you, we've got no European football, we're going to be 5th. I was like, okay. So I let that go. And then obviously I watched them yesterday and I was like, are you actually sure about that? Because normally in games you'll see like a little bit of a spark from somewhere, or 15th, maybe. It might be being a bit premature, but maybe. Normally you see a little bit of spark from somewhere, you know, you see like a player where you think, okay, he looks really good, like we'll be fine. Saka was to come back and he came on yesterday as well. He did a little bit, but not as much as obviously we expect him. But what can you do when you're that far, like deeply in the wrong in a game? You can't just resurrect that yourself, like by a single player. So yeah, they're going to have to figure something out soon, because Arteta is going to be under so much pressure, because I know the board like him and they've kept him for maybe longer than a lot of people have thought. But yeah, yesterday he doesn't have the, I've noticed he doesn't have the like mindset to change a game. Like normally, like for like is fair enough when it's an injury, but if something's not working and you 1 goal, 2 goals down, you need to change it and you need to inject something in there that changes the game. And for me, he didn't do that yesterday, so I was quite surprised that he didn't end up doing that. But yeah, it didn't look great from them yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Beth, what do you think? Do you think they'll finish higher than 8th this season, or do you think they'll do worse or stay the same? Like, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm thinking either like 10th, 9th, 8th, around there. That 5th shout from you girls quite funny, because who's dropping out of, say, what would you say the top 6 is like? So Liverpool, Leicester, Chelsea, Man United, Man City.
Oh, do you know what the thing is? Spurs, if they manage to keep Kane, which I don't think they will, but if they manage to keep him, you know, he's always going to guarantee that they'd be top 6, I reckon. Yeah. And they've made some very good signings, like very talented players, which in areas that they needed. So, and then they don't have Jose Mourinho again. So, you know, they'll be in a much better place mentally as well to actually challenge for a top 6. I don't think they'll get top 4. But if they do sell Kane, they've got money there where they can start replacing and actually rebuild. So I think they could get top 6. But,
so there's 6 teams there that are already better than Arsenal. So... like I don't that makes them 8th again. I think 7th. I can't do maths.
You didn't say Chelsea, did you?
Did I not say who?
Did you not say Chelsea? I don't remember you saying Chelsea.
I just said it like 4th, because I was like, I went halfway through and I was like, why did I say Chelsea first? Chelsea.
She didn't want to make it too obvious. She just had to go 4. She didn't want to say like Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't want to be biased.
Yeah, so Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Leicester, Spurs. Yeah, that's
Man City.
6.
Then you've got Aston Villa didn't get to a good start today, but they've got a good squad and they've made some really good signings. There's like West Ham. I'm not convinced they're going to do as good as they did last season, but still, that they'll be around in that battle with Arsenal. And are Arsenal better than West Ham?
There's like Everton, who've got Rafa Benitez. I mean,
yeah, they did well to catch up to pull it back today, didn't they? So you'd think it'd be about 10th again, 10th, 9th, 8th.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to do that well. Grandad Indy thinks that Arsenal were going to finish above Spurs this season. So unless Spurs are finishing 11th,
they lose Kane, maybe.
When did he say that though? Was that before they played or afterwards?
No, both. I think in the space, yes. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, Grandad, but in the space you did say that you still think that Arsenal are going to finish above Spurs. I don't know if he's changed his mind now, but obviously. Yeah, that's what he believes. I don't know why. I just don't rate Arsenal's squad personally. It's just they're in a bit of a shambles at the moment.
A couple of good talents in there, but it's not enough for what they need, really.
Yeah,
Arteta's just not that great. I mean, clearly he knows how to beat Chelsea, unfortunately, but apart from that, he's not that great. But he can stay. That's fine.
Haven't Arsenal got Man City next as well?
Chelsea and then
Chelsea,
then Man City. Yeah, so that's
they'll pick up
the 2
points
games
one.
they're probably not going to win, isn't it?
I think they'll pick up points against one, but the odds, it's likely that, it's very likely that they will end up on 0 points after 3 games, and that's insane. That's really insane. Like a horrible, horrible start. So I'm finding it amusing. The meltdowns, the spaces, it's all amusement on the timeline, if I'm being honest with you. We'll move on to the next game, and that was the early kickoff today. Manchester United 5, Leeds 1. Obviously, I'm the United fan, but I'm happy about the performance. Obviously, it was a very good performance. Great scoreline. Bruno hat-trick, Pogba 4 assists. Lindelof played well. Even McTominay played well. Greenwood was excellent up front. I was really happy for Greenwood today. I thought he was so good. But obviously, you guys, you don't support United. Did you watch the game at all?
Yeah,
or did you?
I watched it with my granddad because when I was on the way to London on Saturday, I watched the pre-season against Everton, and you guys looked brilliant. And I tweeted, I was like, Man United look very dangerous at this season. Obviously made a couple of great signings, kept Cavani on for another year. So I was like, they're going to look good anyway, regardless. At first, obviously the first goal, fair enough. Meslier nearly had it. He had his leg to it, but it just went through his legs. And then Leeds scored straight afterwards, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening here. Literally from that moment, from the Leeds goal, you never let up once. It was just constantly attacking. Yeah. The link-up play was brilliant. Pogba was absolutely excellent today. Everyone knows that I'm like a Paul Pogba fan account, but I love Paul Pogba. He was so good today. I agree. I thought Greenwood had a great game. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes, thank you very much for my FPL points, Bruno Fernandes. Because at one point, I captained Mo Salah, and I was like, oh, God. Here we go. It's going to go wrong. But Mo Salah did fine today as well. But yeah, looked absolutely brilliant. Obviously, there's still Sancho to play because he didn't start. He didn't play most of the game. Varane is still to come. Lindelof obviously thought, oh my God, Varane's coming in to take my place. Basically, I better fix up right now because he had a really good game. Really good game. So I thought really good. You look really, really strong this season. Very strong. And all you've done is add quality. So it's just going to be crazy. You're going to have a really good season. Really good.
Yeah. No, do you know what is? I don't think we'll win the Premier League or anything like that, but I think we'll win something. I think
win something, definitely.
Good. Yeah, I think top 4 is all good. And I hope we kick on after that because, we all know Chelsea, City, Liverpool eventually, maybe one day, will actually add to their squads and they'll have very, very solid teams, players all over the pitch that are going to be good. So we need to make sure we keep up with you guys because, it's going to be difficult. But Beth, did you catch the game?
I didn't catch the game. I have actually seen a few of the goals though. Paul Pogba looked really good from what I saw, and that Luke Ayling goal as well. That was amazing. There've been so many screamers today. There've been so many good goals. But Man United are a funny one because I think they've got some really good talented players in their team, but I think it's just Ole, and I just don't. I'm not sure if he will win anything, but I think he'll place top 4 still, and I think it'll be fairly comfortable. I'm just not sure if he'll get you as far as actually winning something. I think you just need a bit of a push. I'm not sure it's his mentality, because I remember him saying something silverware was for egos or something, and I'm well, if you're a football team, you kind of need it.
It was taken out of context. You know what? It's taken out of context, and obviously the extremists out there will actually just
Ollie out.
I'm an Ollie outer, but I'm not an extremist. The extremists are a very special breed of Ollie outer.
Yeah.
They're as Danny says, right wing Trump supporters. That's what Ollie outer is in this sort of scenario. And they will just latch to anything negative sort of thing. But I agree. I think Ollie's got a lot to prove this season as well. He needs to change a few things, especially in the bigger games where we can sort of go for it and try and get a win. He has to try and go for it, in my opinion. Apologies for the background noise. My brother's loud when he laughs. But yeah, he needs to change it quite a bit. And the players need to be consistent as well. And then maybe we can sort of, we can win something. But until those little things are fixed, and that's more of a mentality thing rather than a personnel thing, I don't think we'll win anything major. I don't think we'll win the Premier League or the Champions League. But I'm hoping for a very good season elsewhere, if I'm being honest with you. I think we can achieve that.
Yeah, I can see you getting to like the finals of the FA Cup or the League Cup, I think. I just don't know if you've got that push to do what it takes to win it, that's all.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those things, it's just, you just have to wait and see what happens. And as a United fan, obviously hope that goes well. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Oh, there's Charlie in the chat. Big up, Charlie. Says Arsenal Space is up there with watching AFTV. Honestly, if you haven't seen an Arsenal Space or listened to an Arsenal Space, they are unreal. There's meltdowns, there's arguments, all sorts going on. Honestly, brilliant.
If you haven't seen Ty on the overlap as well on the first episode, please.
Did you see Jamie Carragher's shout out to him on the commentary when he was like, my mate Ty would not be happy with that.
Please, just go and watch it, because honestly, like, that was the funniest thing I think I've genuinely ever witnessed in my life, because you just don't think it's real. Like, half the time you think he's a parody, but like, no, he genuinely is like that. He's just vibes, no facts. Like, you can't argue with someone like that, because he's just so set in like what he wants to say, just will not budge. And it was the funniest thing when he was like, who's talking about the league? And that was the whole point of what we were actually talking about. We were talking about who's going to win the league, and he was like, who's talking about win the league? And Jamie Carragher was like, we are. Honestly, I love him. He's brilliant. He's absolute comedy. He's just fantastic.
What a character. You know, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, you've got people on AFTV, you've got like all the big YouTubers now, they're actually going on they're going to those sort of events and just mingling with pundits. It's crazy how much YouTube's just blown up. But yeah, it's just unreal.
That crossover though, like, it's something that I probably never thought I would expected to see for a good while. Like, everyone who was there, like the YouTubers and actual clubs, like getting involved with like us, like with content creators and stuff, which I think is really good, because Leeds did like a little when they released their kits, they got content creators from like Leeds fan content creators to release their kit and do kit promo and stuff, which I thought was brilliant. Like, that's what we need. We need the crossover to be better, so that, you know, they don't get bad names and stuff.
Yeah, it's true. There's sort of like a rivalry, but like they've sort of merged together now, and that's really good. That's really good for the YouTubers. It's good for punditry. It's good for everything, really. I think it's a really positive step, to be honest with you. We are going to move on to Chelsea. They beat Crystal Palace today 3-0. Beth, I hope you watched this game. This is your club. So break it down for me, because I watched the first half, but I didn't watch the seconds. But yeah, how was the game?
I missed the first 15 minutes because I was like running home from work and it was like 24 degrees outside, and I was like, I hate this. I'm in all black, but okay. But no, it was good. I think there's obviously still a lot of shades from last season of not taking our chances. Timo still being a bit frustrating. But we've signed Lukaku now. He'll be there for Arsenal, and that's quite exciting to think about. I think he'll bring out the best in our players, so I can't wait for that. But I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the fact that we managed to score more than one goal without any penalties. That was nice. And yeah, I think not many of our players had stinkers. Trevor Chalobah, absolutely amazing. I'm so happy he got a goal. Seeing him like fall to his knees after he realised it went in was just like my heart.
That made me cry.
I know.
Oh my God, I actually felt emotional for him.
Yeah, no, I think I'm really excited for this season. I feel like we need to sign a midfielder, I think, for us to go forward. Everyone's talking about us getting like Koundé as a defender, but I really think we just need like a central midfielder, like where Kovacic, Kante and Jorginho sort of play. But I'm really excited. I really believe in Thomas Tuchel and I'm ready to go, guys. It was good. A good game.
Yeah. Do you think you can win the Premier League this season, or do you think it's too soon?
We could. I think it'll be hard this season, though. I see it being very competitive, like at the top of the table. I think everything's going to be quite close. Because at the moment, Man City have really only bought Grealish, haven't they? From my memories, I mean, like big money, lots of money on him. But they've been a strong squad anyway, so I don't really see them as needing to strengthen. Apart from maybe striker, which then they might get Kane. Who knows? Jan doesn't want Kane, though, does she?
No, she doesn't. It's incredible.
No. Yeah,
I understand it though, but yeah, she doesn't want him.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Man United are going to be like there with everyone as well. It's going to be just like a bit of luck and stuff, I think, as well, with injuries. Just see who goes. I think that's one of the reasons that like us and Man City might have a bit of a advantage, is because we've got quite a good squad depth, whereas like I don't think Man United have the same sort of level of squad depth. We've already seen really that Liverpool kind of don't, and they really haven't added to it a lot. So I think we have a good chance at it. Yeah, I do. I think we could do it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think you win the Champions League again. It's so hard to retain the Champions League, but I think you'll be in and around the Premier League title, and you'll probably win like another cup as well. Tuchel's a very, very, very good manager. And he seems to know exactly what he's doing with your squad at the moment. Before I come to you, Kendall, Kai, we are not getting Mason Greenwood. That's not happening.
Kai, stop the agenda. Mount's fine, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mount's a good player. He's not a great one, but he's a good player, and he's your Chelsea boy. So suck it up, I guess. But Kendall, what did you make of Chelsea today? Did you watch them?
Yeah, I watched most of the first half and then the second half, which I obviously missed. I think Chalobah, did he score in the second half? I think he did, didn't he? Anyways, I missed that, but I watched all the videos, like all the pictures. I was like, oh my God, I actually feel emotional. Like when the video was on and Azpilicueta was like hugging him and he just fell to the floor and everyone was like, you're all right. And he was just so emotional. I was like, oh, you know what? Like, that's just what it's about. Like, that's... It goes to show how important it is like that type of player that isn't initially in your first 11, maybe hasn't even relatively been in the squad over the past couple of seasons, but to have a good pre-season, because he had such a good pre-season and everyone was shouting about him and saying he looked really, really solid and really good. And obviously he's went and done that a day. So I'm so happy for him. Like, that's just what every like player who's grown up in and around the academy or in and around, you know, at a young age, it's a great story for me. Obviously I thought they looked strong again. Didn't start off that well, but as soon as they grew into the game, this is Chelsea though, they did this last season, as soon as they kept growing into games and looking really, really strong, like more towards the end of the game. But yeah, obviously Pulisic scored, Marcus Alonso, so yeah,
free kick that was.
Yeah. So yeah, they look good. I think they'll be in and around there, as Beth says. You know, it's squad depth is so important when injuries come. Chelsea's squad depth is absolutely up there. Man City's. I've said this for the past few weeks. When they signed Lukaku, I said, you know, they're going to look really good. So yeah, again, another team like Man United, like Man City, who are going to have good seasons this year, I think.
No, that's fair enough. I was shocked by what I saw from Crystal Palace today. I tweeted out and said they're just power and vibes. Like, I can't.
Totally.
They just didn't look good. Their players look clueless. They didn't know what they were doing. Obviously, I don't know much about Vieira as a manager, so can't really judge him yet. It's obviously the first game of the season, but they did not look good, and I'm wondering if they're actually a contender for relegation. But what do you guys think about Crystal Palace? Because I don't know, I was shocked at what I saw. To be honest, horrendous.
They weren't very good. No, I think they were trying to just focus on like the defending part of it. So I think they were just trying to like not concede more than anything. And then obviously once it concedes, the game plan goes out the window. And I think that's where it just sort of went up, bit balls up for them. And then we were just kind of a bit relentless. So once they sort of relaxed a bit and started to give us space, it just kind of got a bit worse for them, because then we actually had room to move in. A relegation, I don't know. I think they'll be safe. I do. I think they'll probably have. I see them having a bit of a stumble at the beginning of the season and then pulling it back to be okay. A bit like, I don't know, who did that last season? Someone did that last season. I can't remember.
Yeah, Burnley normally do it. Burnley normally have a really high start to the season, and then
Newcastle did it like mid-season.
Yeah, Newcastle did it.
Yeah,
that's
but
crazy.
That's how I see it. I think they'll be okay in the end, but I think they'll probably be a bit worried about it. But then it's a new manager, and has Vieira managed somewhere before? I don't actually know.
He didn't as in abroad. No, not big. He was at Manchester City for a while, but he wasn't. He was more like a technical director at City at some point.
Oh, like Arteta. Well, that's going to go well, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but he wasn't a coach or anything like that. I don't know. I think he did coach a team outside of England, but I can't remember actually. But yeah, he doesn't have that much experience.
I feel like America might have been, was it not New York City or something like that? I can't remember, but he definitely, I think he managed Nice. I think he was a coach at Nice as well. But I'm sure it was somewhere in America as well. But yeah, I want him to do well because like he's just a type manager. I just want to do well. And normally, as we've seen, usually I'm going to say, because obviously it's not always the case, but ex-players as managers at a top, like a high level, doesn't always work out. We're seeing Arteta struggle now. You know, Ollie hasn't had the best time of things, even though I think he's an okay, but he hasn't brought the success that probably Man United fans wanted him to bring. So sometimes it doesn't work. Like when certain things happen, even outside of England, we've seen it with like the likes of Pirlo, for example.
Horrendous.
Yeah. So I want him to do well. I know I don't think he didn't play for Crystal Palace, but I want him to do well. But it's going to be a mixture of a lot of things. Roy Hodgson's tactics, and even though like he has the likes of Benteke, Zaha, his tactics weren't of the most modern level. That's a nice way
it's like like a Brexit ball. Let's go.
Just Brexit. Very simple, you know.
4-4-2 lads.
Yeah, like he kept them up. That's basically all he was wanting. He just wanted to keep them up, and that's what he has done. So for a manager like Vieira, who I'm assuming is going to adopt more forward-thinking tactics in the sense, made a couple of signings. Obviously, signed Elise. Eze's out for the season, as far as we know. So that's not going to be great because he is unbelievable. He was great for them last season. So, yeah, I think I think you're right, Beth. I think they're going to start off. They're going to struggle at first, and then it might kick in maybe a couple of months in when everyone gets to know each other and gets more used to each other. But yeah, as of now, they don't look fantastic.
No, I agree. They looked really, really poor. Big up Ryan. He says, we're going to win the league. Trust me, it's happening. He's a Liverpool fan. We will come to your team in a second because I have strong words for that. And big up Prime as well. He says, managed City Youth, New York City and Nice. And
there you go, Kendall. You got it all right.
Yeah.
I knew it was Nice, but I couldn't think of the American team. I just couldn't think of which American team it was. Don't disrespect Pirlo. Prime, please.
He's not been doing the best job at Juventus. Like, you can't.
Yeah. The Juventus situation is kind of a strange one. They do have some talented players, but they also have a lot of holes in their team as well. So let's see how he does.
And they're struggling financially as well, aren't they? Juventus, they're one of the ones that are having a wobble.
Ronaldo's wages. That's what it is. Big up Ryan as well. He's our grounded Tottenham host. So big up to you. Says check the Celebrity Kendall on the best YouTube channel there is.
I wouldn't go that far in terms of celebrity, but yes, best YouTube channels. Definitely one of the best YouTube channels. But I'm not a celebrity.
We'll be asking for autographs.
I wish, and then I would have celebrity money, but I'm not. So here we are.
Soon come. That does remind me, people, please smash that like button. I always forget to do this. This is why I'm not a host, because I always forget to do this stuff. But please smash the like button. Follow us on Twitch. Subscribe to the channel. And also, we do have a Discord now, and we are planning to do in-house tournaments for that. Pro clubs for FIFA, tournaments for FIFA. And we want to do it start a league. Join the Discord and you'll find out more information about that. But it should be a fun few months actually on the channel, especially with you guys, the community, who make us what we are. So really appreciate all the support, guys. Eric Blue says Pirlo is not good enough as a manager. I absolutely agree. How much is Rachel paying to have Kendall on the channel? No. See, Kendall is a nice person, and she's just here because she wants to be on the Offside Rule. You see,
exactly.
And the future EU show that we're going to be doing. So don't start it, Prime. We will be doing that soon. Don't worry. I think most of the games today were actually 3+ goals, weren't they? Like there was quite a few 3-1s and 3-2s and whatnot. Well, we're going to go to the 1-0. Leicester versus Wolves. I only watched a little bit of this, and I saw Adama Traore miss a sitter in the first half when it was 0-0. I don't understand the hype of Adama Traore. He's quick, don't get me wrong. He's very quick. He's very powerful. He has Vaseline on his arms. It's all very cool and all that kind of stuff. But his end product is absolutely abysmal, and I don't understand the hype of him at all. But and then obviously Leicester go on to win the game anyway. But if you put Wolves 1-0 up at that point, who knows what would have happened? They could have gone on to win. They could have got on a point, but Leicester ended up winning 1-0. I think it was Jamie Vardy who scored. Yeah, he was shithousing again. Classic Jamie Vardy settings.
Yeah, but, he howled at the Wolves fans, didn't he?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
he didn't. Oh.
He did. He's like he's such a shithouse. Honestly, he's actually brilliant. He's one of those people who's got a punchable face.
I love it. Not when it's against me, but
yeah. What do you make of Leicester? Because I think they made some very good signings, and I think they could sort of. I know they always bottle it with the top four, but I think they have a genuine chance this season to get top four. Yeah, what do you guys make of Leicester?
Everyone says that every year, like they always have a chance because they do. They're always there since they won the league. They're pretty much most years been there and thereabouts. Especially definitely in the top half. So I think they've made some really good signings. Obviously, really, really unfortunate with what happened with Fofana. And they're missing him. He was one of their fantastic players last season. Really standout player for me last season.
Yeah.
They've obviously strengthened in those areas anyway, so it might not make that much of a difference. But yeah, I love Leicester. I find it really hard, and I think probably a lot of football fans do find it really hard to dislike them because they ran so well. Like they ran so well. Their owner's brilliant. They really want the club to push forward and do well and like invest in the area. And the team's just great, and the owners are like really personable. So I find it hard to dislike them. But Wolves today, on the other hand, didn't look. Honestly, I think they had something ridiculous, like 15 shots and like only 3 on target. So they're obviously got a new manager as well, so they're going to maybe struggle a little bit with their new manager like Vieira. But they didn't look great last season either. So yeah, I don't know. But Leicester do. They always look good, and I think definitely they'll be up there as well.
Leicester for sure. Absolutely. Leicester are a great team, and Brendan Rodgers is a great manager as well. Like I can't hate them. They beat us in the FA Cup final, and I can't muster any dislike for them at all. Like I can't do it. They've won their Community Shield already this season, so they're already off to a really good start. I think that's just going to build up the momentum. I would love to see Leicester get like a Champions League spot this year, but when you look at like what we would probably say the top 4 would be, which is Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and United, I just can't see them having that final push there because they've not got like the experience of it, I guess. I don't know, but I love them. Yeah, I think they're going to do great. They're going to smash it.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think there could be a shock? Like, those top 4 teams that you're talking about, do you think one of them could drop out?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's all going to be really tight. Like, I think the top 4 is going to be really tight. Like first, second, third, it will all be like a matter of points. That's from just looking at it this season. So it could very well be like that. It could be down to luck, down to a penalty, whatever.
Dodgy VAR decisions.
Yeah. Well, we should see less of those, shouldn't we? Apparently, with the new rules.
Yeah. Well, they always say that, but
well, they said
our referees are terrible. So
with the new offside rule, they said that 20 of the goals last season that were ruled offside would have stood on the new rules this year.
Yeah, and the accidental handballs as well. A couple of them probably would have stood.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's move on to the Everton-Southampton game. Everton won 3-1. They went a goal behind. It was Adam Armstrong. It was a fantastic finish, but Everton were all over the place at the back for that. And Everton came back, and I think it was Richarlison, Decore, and Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, he had like a diving header into the goal. It's really good.
Yeah, and I didn't actually watch this game, but I heard Decore scored a screamer. So just want to ask you quickly what you think Everton will achieve this season, because they're another team where every season people say they should be doing well. They've got some very good players, but they always seem to fall off. Something always happens and they end up, I think they finished ninth last season?
Yeah, probably.
They fell off, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they had a very good start. They were top of the league alongside Liverpool at one point, remember, before the whole Van Dijk incident. And then they just fell off. And they had like James Rodriguez starting well and whatnot. And yeah, I'm just so curious about Everton because they always look like they should be doing better than what they are, but they just never do. So where do you think they'll finish this season, roughly?
I've got kind of a little bit of a. I'm watching them because of Rafa. Like, I'm gutted that he went there. I just thought in my head, I don't know why I even thought this, but like I thought he would just not go to another Premier League team. Like that's just what I had in my head. Like I just thought I would never have to see him in another Premier League team. And like everyone looks and thinks like, oh, Liverpool fans probably be more annoyed about it, and they are, like that, rightfully so. You don't get a lot of managers who manage, rival teams that are as strong as rivals as that. I mean, see Bruce, but whatever. So I'm watching him, and I know that they're going to be fine in terms of they're going to be in the top half because that's just what Rafa does. He got us, a championship side, newly promoted 10th in the first season back. So I know that he's got the players there to work with. He'll be fine. They'll be in the top half 100%. It's just whether or not they'll kick on from there because Rafa's football is very reliable. So it's like very defensive, very systematic football. Like individual brilliance kind of doesn't really come into play. Obviously, you're going to have elements of that in certain players like Richarlison, like Calvert-Lewin, but it doesn't really come into play. So it's just going to be reliable football. I think they'll be fine, but I just can't see them, even though that looks like a convincing win. Southampton have lost a couple of their players, so like a couple of their really decent first team players. So I don't know. They looked very poor against you guys in pre-season. They looked very poor when they played. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be one to watch. I think that's it. If I can speak, it's gonna be one to watch this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. What do you reckon, Beth? Do you think Everton will do well this season, or do you think they'll just be sort of mid-table?
Yeah, I do. I sort of top half. I think so. They'll be in that sort of battle with like Arsenal and that. But Rafa Benitez is a really good manager. Everton have they do have some really good players. Like especially, I think. Oh, hey JB. They think that Calvert-Lewin, I think, is really good. I really rate Calvert-Lewin. There's a lot of people that say he's kind of just like. He's fine, like he's average, he's all right. I really think he's quite a good player. But I think, I don't know what it is. I think it's like, is it their midfield or something? There's something with Everton where it just doesn't click together for me. And I think that's where they always sort of fall at the last hurdle. But yeah, no, I can't see them competing for any of like the European spaces. I can't, but I think they'll be safe. They'll be fine. They'll probably cause some upset for some of the big teams. Probably my team, because we don't like playing Everton. But that's fine.
No, I hear that. We went through a stage of having horrible results against Everton as well. We just couldn't, even under Fergie. I remember it was a 3-3 draw? Not the last season, but under Fergie. And it ended up costing us the league. We were 3-0 up or something like that. It was ridiculous, and it just cost us the league. When obviously in hindsight, but just when you've got that lead, you expect to win it, especially under Fergie. And for that to not happen, it was really bad. Ryan, we're going to come on to your team now because I've had enough of you. Liverpool beat Norwich 3-0. Now, I thought Liverpool were poor. The midfield was horrendous for me. I don't know if you guys watched it, but
at the start they really were.
They looked very disjointed. When Fabinho came on, they looked better, like in the second half and that. But overall, I thought they were poor. Milner just looked lost. Like he's not a 6, so we know that. He's not a defensive sort of midfielder. He looked out of sorts at times. It was just not very cohesive. But when you have the strike force, when you have Salah, Mane, and Jota, you're basically guaranteed goals, and that's what carried them today. But Liverpool, I'm struggling to have any confidence in them to finish in the top 3. If I'm honest with you, I think that the lack of signings and they're going to have injury issues as well will cost them personally. Obviously, it's hope as well because I'm a United fan, but I can't see them challenging. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think they can challenge or win the league, as Ryan says?
Actually, I agree with you a lot on that, Rachel. I think as well with the front forwards, they rely on them so much, and Klopp plays this like football, which is such a high pressure, sort of high energy game, and they're all about to turn 30, which is obviously not old in football terms, but that's the age when you start to get the injuries a bit more often. With that squad depth issue, like I said earlier, I would see them at the lower part. I still think they'll probably get 4th because they've got a good mentality. The team has a really good mentality, and they can just grind it out and get what they want like today they did. mind you, Norwich were not amazing either. So I'm feeling a bit gutted that I think we've just sent Billy Gilmore, the Scottish Iniesta, to a relegation battle. It's a bit upsetting to me, but okay. But no, I think I agree with you, Rachel. I think top four, I think they can do. I'm not sure about competing for the title, but I still think it's going to be close. They've got the mentality. It just depends on luck and if they all stay fit again.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Van Dijk as well. I mean, we all know what a fantastic defender he is, but when you have an injury like he's had, you know, recurring injuries can happen. He has to condition himself very, very well, and be managed quite well. But he's actually so important to their team. So that plus the fact that some of their defenders are actually injury prone, it could be a problem for them throughout the season. Kendall, what do you make of Liverpool?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of tweets saying that Tsimikas was horrendous today, despite the fact that they won 3-0. But I did see loads of people just like, oh, Tsimikas was getting spun, like whatever. As you say, you know, Van Dijk's first game back. I think Joe Matip, didn't he have like a injury last year as well at some point? I know Joe Gomez did, but yeah, totally his best is. It's about keeping fit because they don't have the squad depth of the rest of who we think are going to make top four. They don't have the squad depth like that. So that's where they're going to struggle. Klopp as a manager is great for that kind of team because as totally mentality's there, like, you know, you go out to win, you play for the manager, like that's what they do. So yeah, like they were playing today, like the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain, who he wouldn't be in your starting 11 really. Their starting 11 usually. Obviously Henderson's missing. Naby Keita, who was literally hospital bed FC, like he was playing today. So yeah, I think they're just going to have to push on and hope for the best about injuries because that's where that'll be the downfall again. I hope it isn't for them, like honestly, but that's probably going to be the downfall for them again.
Yeah, I just see it as like Klopp can really run that team into the ground because like they don't put, Liverpool is so stingy, they don't put money into new signings, they don't really want to spend if they don't have to. They're very good at finding good players on the cheap though, like respecting them for that. But it's sort of a bit like when we have N'Golo Kante, and you know N'Golo Kante, he runs like he gives you 120% all the time. But now he's reaching that age, he's like 30, which is about the same age as all of them. He's starting to pick up injuries from doing that because he plays just himself such like a high pressure sort of game where he runs everywhere. It's becoming more and more common. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what starts to happen to Liverpool.
No, that's fair enough. A lot of people have said that with Klopp teams. Obviously, prior to Liverpool, Klopp teams did tend to burn out, but Liverpool have done really well in the last few years. Apart from the horrible injury mess they had last season, obviously, but they've done very well to sort of maintain that sort of intensity throughout the season.
Yeah, but the first two, when they won the Champions League and the Premier League, they barely had any injuries at all. Like it was a bit scary, weird how they didn't have any injuries. Like you would have thought they might have been drug, like but yeah. So.
You know, I rate Matip. I think he's a good player, good defender. Ryan obviously says he's world class, better than Maguire, Diaz, etc.
I wouldn't go that far, Ryan. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I think he's good.
He's a good player.
Better than Diaz. Oh Jesus, honestly, this guy sometimes, man.
Ryan makes me laugh.
He's better than Dyer, if that helps.
Yeah, that's
better than Dyer.
true.
Yeah, we'll give him that. We'll give him that. Good point. Great point.
I might give Dyer a run for his money if I tried. Like, 5'2" centre back. I mean, probably wouldn't be a great idea, but I would try.
Still more useful. To be fair, you might turn quicker than him as well. So yeah, there's that. There's always that. Kendall, we're going to come to your team next because obviously you play at 2 tomorrow. Playing against West Ham. You're at home, aren't you?
Yeah, we're at home. Yeah, first game back. Well, we went to a Sheffield United game like the end of last season, but there was only 10,000 fans allowed in. So I'm so excited to go back tomorrow and see like 50,000 fans.
Yeah, it's been nice seeing the stadium so full.
Am I lagging or is that Kendall?
No, she's lagging.
Okay. Because okay.
Frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen, bless her. When we come to her team, I feel like that was done on purpose, to be honest with you.
Stream's gone, no, not Newcastle.
Yeah, bun this. I'm out. Okay, Beth, you talk to me. What do you think about Newcastle? Where do you think they'll finish this season? Honestly,
Newcastle are going to be fighting out at the bottom, I do believe. I think Joe Willock's a great signing for them, though, and he might make the difference. But I'm sure Kendall can't really disagree. They're not putting like money into the club or anything. Like they're not buying any players. They've still got Steve Bruce. The fans aren't happy. The players will sense that on the pitch that the fans are not happy. I feel like 17th. That's what I feel like. And I feel like Burnley will be like 16th, but that's a different story.
Really? Like Burnley's a weird one though, because they're just simply mid-table, aren't they, Burnley? They're very solid.
They just survive. That's all they do. That's all Burnley do, survive.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. Kendall, your timing was just unbelievable there. Oh, okay. She knows what to talk about Newcastle again. She was hoping we moved on. I see how it is. We'll save them for long.
We'll never get to talk about Newcastle, sorry.
Yeah, it's just not allowed apparently. Okay, do you know what? We'll talk about Tottenham and City and then we'll come back to Newcastle because we have to get Kendall's take on her own club. Otherwise, it's just no point. Tottenham, Manchester City. A lot of people are predicting that Tottenham will beat Manchester City tomorrow, which I find really interesting. Obviously, anything can happen. But what do you think? Do you think Tottenham can beat City tomorrow? They're playing at their ground. First game back.
Well, we played Tottenham in pre-season. In the end, we drew 2-2. But when we actually had our stronger fit team on the pitch, because they didn't really change any of their players the whole game, we were beating them 2-0, and it was like easy. It was like a training game. They were not looking good. So based on that, no, not really. They actually had like proper, like their starters out as well. There's only a few of them that weren't their regular starters playing. So I don't.
Sorry guys, my internet's having a nightmare. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay.
Internet don't want you to talk about Newcastle, Kendall.
It's been banging the whole time and it wants to go off.
It's all right, Kendall. We understand you don't want to speak about your club.
If it lags again, I'm sorry. I'll just have to leave and come back. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Print screen that. Look at that screenshot. There's so many great faces that Kendall's making right now.
That one's quite nice, actually. That one's cute. I like that.
Yeah, that one's bad.
Very model-esque.
Oh,
okay.
I can hear you, but like your faces are like
distorted.
So that's probably what I look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely. Yeah, we're talking about Manchester City. Guys, let us know in the comments as well, what you think the score's going to be with Tottenham and Manchester City. And obviously Newcastle and West Ham as well, for Kendall's sake, of course. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw.
Because otherwise I'll just cry and just be devastated.
I think she's about to say devastated.
All I heard was cry.
Hold on. I need to screenshot that face. That's pretty good.
So Maxime is also a really, really good player. I shouldn't have overlooked him, to be fair, with Newcastle. He's a good player. He'll get poached probably next season. If they end up getting relegated, he's gone. gone.
No, I hear that. Oh, big up Laurie as well. Says Man City 3-0 win. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, you would say that. That's your dream.
Kane's going to play because he's not been training with them. Well, I think he is now, but he wasn't, was he? Do you think he's going to play?
I don't know, because he might get a really horrible reception from the fans. Like some of the Tottenham fans have been really negative towards Kane, haven't they? Like over the top negative. Obviously, you can be annoyed about his conduct and stuff, but overall, the way they've been almost abusing him is kind of unfair, I find. Like he doesn't deserve that. You can talk about his conduct and say that he didn't go about things the right way, etc., or maybe he was disrespectful, but to abuse him and treat him like he's a shit on your shoe basically is really unfair, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't really know what else they should expect from him though, because he's a really good player, and they are not doing anything for his career. Like he's a player that can win things, but like I don't know how they can really blame him. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like people like Tanya would say like he probably does deserve better and like he can go, but I don't know. If they play him, I think it'd feel a bit weird, I guess. But what else are they gonna do? It's not like they've got anyone better. So
no, it's true. It's true. Ram says, Indiana, you're a fraud. Newcastle, West Ham, 1-1. Okay, so people are going for a draw for that. Fatur says he'd like to see City smash Spurs 3-0. You know, anything can happen in that game, to be honest with you. That's the thing. It's a weird one.
Well, I didn't Tottenham think City beat City last year, didn't they? Early in the season.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. It was like 2-1, I think. I think it was 2-1. But I just felt Man City weren't that impressive in their Community Shield game. Obviously, they had like 3-4 youngsters on as well. They didn't look great. But it's Manchester City. You know, they could just blow a team away just if they feel like it. They're just an unbelievable team, to be honest with you. Nothing to do with Arsenal. Tottenham's recent record versus City isn't great. Their recent record, what did they? I can't remember. Did they beat them at the Etihad as well, or was it just at their ground?
No, I think it was just the one game. I'm pretty sure they lost the second. Because Man City went on that winning streak, didn't they? Where they just won like every game from December to April. So, I think.
I know it was December to like February, wasn't it? Because we ended that streak.
Yeah.
Oh, Kendall's trying to get back in. Bless her.
It wants Kendall, to fight me. I don't know what's happening to it. I hope it doesn't go off this time. Please.
Yeah, this is the hope. Well, obviously, like we've got another 10 minutes left, but we do want to get your sort of view on Newcastle. You got 10 minutes to rant. Go.
I'm probably going to lag. So if I'm lagging and my face is dodgy, then I'm very sorry, guys.
We can hear you okay, though.
What is happening right now? But you can hear us. Okay, that's all right. I'll get rid of that. That's okay then. I can deal with that. I can just look like Peter Crouch robot for now. So hopefully, I mean, we did beat that West Ham first game of the season last season, 3-0. Whether or not that's going to happen this time, Joe Willock's not available for selection. So whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know. But we'll soon see. I'm excited about the game. That's what I'm excited for. Obviously, first home crowd that Steve Bruce is going to experience of 52,000. So we'll see how that goes. I'm wondering if anyone's going to bring any cabbages along. I hope not, because the second-hand embarrassment is going to be too real. But yeah, I think we can do it. Obviously, as we've all said, that West Ham haven't strengthened their squad very much. They don't look like the West Ham they did with Jesse Lingard at the end of last season. So yeah, we pray and we hope. Laurie, I'm dying at that.
You can't see it because she's lagging, but she really is dying at that. I hope Newcastle stay up. I have it's weird. I have a sort of a soft spot for Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really minds Newcastle. Like, does anyone hate Newcastle? Only Sunderland fans, but they're like over there.
So irrelevant now. League One irrelevance, so it's fine.
Love that. Love that confidence. Love that shit house there. The only thing you can really do is Newcastle fans, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Prime says Kendall lagging is a definition of Newcastle though.
See, it's Mike Ashley. Mike Ashley's up. He's in my phone right now. He's infiltrating my system like the FBI. He doesn't want me to say anything negative.
No, I hear that. Oh, we got a question here from Mona. Big up. He says, thoughts on the Newcastle Saudi takeover, Kendall?
My thoughts are that it's not happening. That helps.
You better get that Saudi money in.
I know, it's just not happening. Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm a human rights expert because I'm not. I don't agree with things that I've seen, but that's just that's all I can say on that. And at this current time, it's not happening. So I think we're just going to have to accept that we've got Ashley for another year at least. You know, he stepped down as sports director CEO now, so maybe he's putting some more interest into the club. I don't think so, but maybe he is. Maybe he's going to go and buy another high street store. Who knows? But yeah, at this point, it's just not happening. So we just got to let it go, I think.
Yeah, it is a shame, to be honest with you, because like your stadium's huge, you're a big club, people around the world know about Newcastle.
Yeah.
If you had the right sort of investment and the right sort of ownership, you could actually be doing what, you know, Leicester's been doing for the last few years, but from a bigger platform to start, which is crazy, right? Like if you had the good owners, you would be able to just kick on and you'd be a very big team in the Premier League. You'd be getting
See,
top,
what
top 10.
Leicester's owner wants to do. He wants to, you know, the plans for reinvest in the city and the training ground and stuff and the new stadium. Like it's going to make loads of jobs. Our owner sold. There's this pub called Strawberry Place, which has like been there for like not hundreds, but like 100 years since like St James's Park was there, and he sold the land next to that plot of that pub that's so historical and Newcastle fans. He sold it for like a couple of million a few years back, and now they're building offices on there. So the pub is like at the moment in the middle of like a construction site, and they're building like high-rise offices next to the pub that's like so historical. Whereas Leicester owners, they want to make like a whole regeneration of everything around them, whereas ours just wants to build on top of history. Like, so embarrassing. You can tell I like him, can't you?
No, do you know what? I've seen so many of your rants when it comes to Mike Ashley and like Newcastle in general. It's comedy gold, to be honest with you. But it's also really sad at the same time because, you know, no one wants to see Kendall upset. So, you know.
We always kind of want Newcastle to win so that Kendall doesn't have to moan. Like, I feel bad for him. That's when they play Chelsea.
Guys, that's what we're like, sympathy team. Like, no, we don't want to watch it, see it or cry. So we want them to win. Oh God, that's where we're at right now. I think we just got to accept that that's where we're at right now.
Although I kind of like seeing Tottenham lose because then we get one of those voice notes from Tanya on Twitter, and I'm like,
oh yeah, Tanya, yeah. I remember what game was it where Arsenal lost? It was towards the end of the season. They lost a ridiculous game, and she was on the offside rule. Oh, she killed me. She just went on some 3-minute rant about Arsenal, about how they're in the mud. It was just, I need to find it and clip it actually because it happened a while ago and just like post it. It was so funny.
She's great. I love her rant. She's so funny. When she, honestly, the thing that killed me more than anything in this life was when she called Harry Winks Harry Stinks. Honestly, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like, she was just making me absolutely die with that.
She's funny. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. We've had quite a few rants on this show. Just unbelievable comedy. Like it's usually me and Jan sitting there, and the Chelsea fans are just like on a mad one. Even when they win, like it's just.
Oh God, yeah, no. Well, Charlotte and Lambs just want everyone out, don't they? I'm kind of the opposite. I love them all. I want them all to do well, but then it's funny. I always have to try and defend some of the players though. Like I get really upset with them. Tammy Abraham. I'm like, Tammy Abraham defense league. Don't you dare say anything, Crime. I'm watching you.
Yeah, you shouldn't have brought him up.
Like, now, so leave him alone.
Yeah, don't bring up Tammy around Prime, Mount around Kai. Just don't bother. Just don't bother saying their names. There's no point.
Yeah, Chelsea fans, you know, we're spoiled, so.
Very.
Look
at you sitting there like spoiled children.
Yeah, we've got everything we want, but we're not happy about it.
Yeah, we want more. We're just greedy. Just greed. Prime says, Beth and Rachel, would either of you do a voice note rant about your respective clubs? No.
I don't think I have the voice note rant thing. I don't have a voice note thing on my Twitter, so no, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a voice note rant kind of person. But I'll definitely get one of my brothers to do it because they're loud enough. I don't know if you can hear them. It's just constant noise. They're playing like table tennis, so it's just constant noise. But yeah, guys, it's been an hour already. I can't. It's been quick. Obviously, Kendall's had a bit of a nightmare with her Wi-Fi. Mike Ashley doing a madness for her.
Yeah, Mike Ashley up. He isn't up. Honestly, I don't know why. My Wi-Fi's been fine for like over a year since I started. Well, no, I'd only started doing streaming a year ago. Been fine, right? Since I had a break for like 2 months, and I've come back to streaming. It hates me. It like does not want to know. If I've got something on in the background like Netflix or like my laptop, it hates me. It doesn't care. It doesn't want to know anymore. So I'm tired of it. So sorry about the lagging, guys. I'm very sorry, but just pretend that I'm like from the future and I'm lagging with my robot.
It's so funny because your internet was absolutely fine up until Newcastle was mentioned, and now it's also absolutely fine. So you really
you know what I mean? Mike, actually, I'm gonna have to get a new phone. I think he's in my phone. Mike Ashley Chan is in my phone. I'm not happy about this.
Okay, so this is the rule. Whenever Kendall was on our show, we do not speak about Newcastle. This is the rule from now on.
Jinxed it. That's what we have to do now.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. This has been a really good show. I'm really sad Yan couldn't make it. Bless her. She's just working hard. But we'll definitely get you guys on again because this has been a good show. Get Charlotte back as well. Little shit, spending time with her family instead of spending time with us. Unbelievable.
We are your family, Charlotte. God's sake.
Yeah, you call us enough, so basically family. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Beth, let everyone know where they can find you, channels, everything, all your socials. So
well, yeah, I'm on Twitter at KingKaiFC, which I think I'm stuck with forever now. Since I started doing these streams, I can't really change it, so that's nice. And I do the Chelsea Lady Show on GNA TV, which we're actually starting again from tomorrow at 7 p.m. So if anyone's watching and you want to come see us, that'd be great. First show, we're doing something a little bit different. So yeah, that's about it really. I'm not here, there, and everywhere like you guys.
Right, we'll get Beth onto the Offside Rule regularly as well, so she can shout us out, and she can be a regular panelist because I've had good talk today with Beth. She's a great streamer. Big up. Honestly, I've really enjoyed today. Apart from the fact that Yan and Charlotte, left us and all that, but you guys have been great.
It's been good.
Yeah, absolutely. Kendall's still making a face. She's still got the Wi-Fi issue, so now she's not allowed to share her socials and whatnot.
she's gone all airbrushed.
Yeah, just Kendall, can you hear us? You all good?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me though.
Yeah, we can hear you. Just let everyone know where they can find you. I'll put all your socials in the description and stuff as well. Don't worry, but yeah, just tell us where they can find you.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me. I absolutely loved it. Love doing these streams. They're just so chilled and relaxed and good, and I love it. But yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me at Kendall Rowan on all socials: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Obviously also over on the Football Terrace, which is where my home is usually. I'm highly doubt anyone here is interested in Newcastle content. But if you are, it is at the Magpie channel as well. So, and also go and check the Overlap fan debate on YouTube, which I did just recently, because aside from me, I'm not bothered if you watch it for me because it's not about me, but honestly there's some comedic content and they're like comedic content from Ty from AFTV, so please go and watch that.
Yeah, definitely. Big up to the latecomers, Mystic Wolf, and there was someone else. Amondi as well. So big up to all of you guys. It's a shame that you've come a bit late, but we will be doing this again soon. That's all I'm going to tell you. We are planning like new shows for the channel. Kendall and Beth will hopefully be part of it as well, which will be great. So thank you all for joining, and all of you DM Yan and bloody Charlotte and tell them to be on the show next time as well. Just have a go at them, tell them off. It's not enough just from me. But thank you guys for watching. Yeah, exactly. And have a good night, people, and hopefully a very good Sunday for Kendall as well. So take care, people.